Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Mythgard in Middle-earth. My name is Corey Olsen, the Tolkien Professor, joined, as always, by my friend Gryfflet, who is standing looking innocent in the middle of a res circle near Forlaw. Now, I have literally no idea how he got here. When last I left Gryfflet, he was standing in a windmill, where he had just rescued prisoners at the end of my last stream. I didn't do anything with him, and when I come back, he's in the middle of the res circle. So Gryfflet has been up to something. I'm not quite sure what, but there he is. So I will go back down to the farm, I guess, but Gryfflet, whatever, I guess, I'm not gonna force you to... Ooh, I forgot to get my presents. Hang on. Let's open presents. What do I get? Potion of rapid crafting? Oh, that's cool. That's relatively new, right? I haven't used one of those. And a Slayer and Skill Deed boost. Ooh, alright. Okay. Excellent. Alright, so... where am I even going now? Alright, I gotta go back down to this farm. I still have to find... what's the name of that warg? Okay, right, yeah, so I gotta speak with the farmers I rescued. I'll do that after. I'm still missing arrows from White Hand Orcs? Okay. So I almost finished the quests down there, but not quite. So let me go down there and then see also if I can... because, hang on, I gotta... where's... there we are. Aha, there's the Slayer of Garnoth quest. I knew there was... the other one. What's his name? Begins with the B. Brolk. That's it. Good old Brolk. Who's... which quest I found foreboded upon someone's tombstone. Okay. Oh, and the epic. Yes, and the epic. Can't forget our doing the catch-up on the epic, because I got all behind. No, not that one. This one. Shadows of Wildermore. Okay, here we are. Defeat Warg Riders, of course. Defeat foes at the southern exit. Horn has asked me to defeat Warg Riders in the Fallows and to investigate the southern road. Okay. Alright. Back on track now. Let's go to it. Gryfflet and Wayward. I'm not going to even attempt to follow the rather nonsensical highway structure here in the Fallows. Alright. That looks like the windmill that I left you in, Gryfflet. I still really don't know what you got up to, but obviously what you got up to was no good. It's all fun and games till you end up in the res circle, Gryfflet. Okay. Let's see. Ethel, you like my shirt? Yeah. This is, of course, from our new Signum University store. Oh, and first of all, I'd meant to apologize for being so late today. I was tragically, believe it or not, I was gonna be on time. I was all ready, but then well, it's like this. When you're the president of a university and the state commissioner of education calls, you take the call even if you are supposed to be helping to rescue Wildermore at the time. And that's kind of what happened this morning. So I ended up talking to the commissioner for education for the state of New Hampshire for a little bit, who had a question, Signum question, which I had to answer. So I apologize. It's all good. But yeah, I was sitting here like, well, so much for starting on time or early. Oh, hey, look. Hey there, stray orc, who apparently has arrows I can help to prepare for siege with. Boom. Oh, didn't see that coming, did you? Oh, there you are. Alright, I have to loot your corpse now. Okay. Very good. Alright, and that's it. Right, that's the last of our quests here. Yeah. Okay. Is that new? The check marks? There didn't used to be check marks next to the quests over here, did they? Is that new? That looks new to me, but maybe I'm just, you know, confused. Nothing could be more likely. Those have always been there? We've always had check marks like that? Really? It just looks like a new thing. No, they've been there forever? Alright. Alright, yeah, no, just... Okay. Me being clueless. That's okay. Alright. Let's see. Let's go find Brolk. That sounds like fun. Come, Wayward. We got our last arrow. Which I didn't realize we were still missing. Alright. Put on our invisibility hat. Say goodbye to the mysterious windmill from which Gryfflet disappeared. Okay. Straight over here, huh? Hello, I'm looking for Brolk, giant warg, responsible for one or two of the graves. Let's see, that's a bull, that's a regular warg. Alright, we're close, yeah? We're close. Okay. Is Brolk gonna be, like, up on top of the rock looking dramatically around? Let's see. Alright, I think we can dismount here. You've arrived, Gryfflet. Let's see. We're looking for... can we climb up? Whoa. What? What? What happened there? First of all, no thanks on the warband. Why can't I move my camera? What is happening? Why is Gryfflet teleporting places? And why is my camera frozen? Why am I inside a... Am I inside a boulder? I'm inside the boulder. That's why it's happening. Holy cow. Oh, okay, I was stuck inside the rock. Okay, so let me not try to climb that rock then. Okay, I was having an out-of-body experience there, but that's okay. Okay, Brolk. Hello. I guess you shouldn't call out for your enemy, technically, when you are walking around in stealth mode. What a lovely view. The Entwash? Is that Eowyrth? Where am I here? Hang on. No. Yes. No. It's Eowyrth, yeah. It is Eowyrth down there. Somewhere down between those towers is a tightrope that I will not walk. Oh, and look at that lovely mead-hall right across the way there. Wonder where that is. Let's see. Who's, Whoa. Too far. Broadacres, huh? That must be Oserley I'm seeing. Mead-hall at Oserley. Cool. Wow, man, I can see forever from up here. Oh, right, and there's that orc camp above Aoworth. Yeah. Yeah, it caused a bunch of mischief there, as I recall. Oh, wait, there's a corpse I should examine? Where is there a corpse? Hello? Boy, it seems awful quiet around here, although I guess it would be awful quiet around a place where a giant warg is meant to be living. Maybe he's stealthing himself too. And we're at an impasse. Yeah, I was gonna climb up the rocks and look around, but... Okay, this place is like suspiciously empty for a place where a giant warg lives. I mean, what does he live on? Ethelwald says, if someone donates $10,000 to Signum, will Gryfflet then run the Crabine tightrope? Yes. Yes. I would offer that as a donor perk if somebody donated $10,000 to Signum. That is a... I'm not proud. I'm the president-in-chief fundraiser at Signum University. I can be bought. That's kind of the rule. Yes, Ethelod, that is abs. Oh, hang on, there it is. There's the corpse. Okay. Yeah, how did I miss that? It's a whole cow corpse. Oh, and it has a... Yeah. It has some issues. Not frozen, though. Okay. Ah, rumbling growls. There you are. Wow, you are a large fellow, aren't you? Holy cow, you're an enormous fellow. Yeah, okay. Hang on a second now. Let's regroup here, Brolk. I was not expecting 162,000 morale points there. That... Did you see Gryfflet flop up off the ground like that? That was really funny. Sorry, Gryfflet. I shouldn't laugh. I'm sure it was uncomfortable for you, but that was hilarious. Okay. Yeah, so looks like I might need help with Brolk. I didn't really realize he was... I mean, I knew he was large, and he was large, and it really recontextualizes the tombstone. You know, what was his name? Which Gar was it? Who died here? Garnoth. Yeah, Garnoth. I mean, I can certainly understand how Garnoth was slain by a warg the size of a young elephant, right? Yeah. Okay. Didn't notice. That's a little bit big. Hang on. I think I'm going to go do the other quest right now. Yikes. Yeah. JJ says it's a small fellowship quest, and Gryfflet's a small fellow. What's the problem? Yeah, that's well, there's small fellowship quests and small fellowship quests. I've been soloing small fellowship quests since, you know, Wigand was knee high. Really don't see how Gryfflet could possibly solo that dude. Maybe I could if I got on my horse. That's probably what I meant to do, isn't it? If I just rode in circles around Brolk for a really long time. Yeah, okay, no, I'm good with it. don't need to hunt bulls. Let's see. Okay, so we have come into the area where I'm meant to find riders, such as, like, it might be that fellow who's already riding around like an insane person. Whoa! He just teleported to escape me. Boy, there are strange things afoot today. That's all I can say. Let's hope this guy counts. But he's in the area. I think he would. Oh, good. He does. So then presumably this guy will too. Okay, that's 2. Alright, while I continue hunting my other 3 here, I'm going to get out a lore question here. Okay. Ooh. Cool questions. Let's see. Let me answer an old one, though. JJ was asking before, how do young elves age? Because, of course, elves don't come of age until they're not like adults until about 50. And so the question is, how do they age? Are they in diapers for decades before spending centuries as rebellious teens? Well, it's not that long anyway. They probably only spend a few decades as rebellious teens. I don't really know exactly what sort of, teen angst among elves exactly would look like. But yeah, so they don't age physically that much slower than humans, but it's mostly like they're not in a hurry, it's like they take a bunch of gap years, it's they have a slow process here. Wait, hang on. There's a warg standing patiently waiting for me to loot the corpse of his master? No. Apparently not. Okay. Because this is Edsig's farm down here, right? That I'm near, yeah. That's not the one with the... It is! The one with the burned out tents. That's what I thought. So he probably had armor that he wanted me to loot. But I finished that quest. How strange. Okay, but that did count towards my riders down here, yeah. And foes at the southern exit. But I'm near the southern exit right now. This is the southern exit. And there aren't any foes down here. Oh wait, there's one. Hooray! There's some foes on foot. How lovely. Okay, so anyway, so elves, yeah, it's more about their sort of mental maturity. In fact, this is one of the things that's fairly striking about elves in general. Okay, that's fine, guys. We can do it this way then. We were just reading the Athrobeth of Finrod and Andreth in Morgoth's Ring, and there Andreth says that grown-up children is what the men of Beleriand, is one of the things that the men of Beleriand called the elves in the first place anyway. So, even as to the men, they seemed like, they seemed childish even when full grown, right? And I assume what leads them to that conclusion, what makes the men of Beleriand feel like the elves are grown-up children, it's mostly all of the tra-la-la-la-ing. I think that's the primary thing, and I'm actually not joking about that. I'm quite serious. That is, this sort of delight and fun that the elves have. It comes up in the context in the Athrobeth. It comes up when Finrod was just talking about how the humans seem to the elves, right? That they look around like they're strangely not at home. Like the wonder of the humans is strange to the elves. They look around as if they're sort of like surprised to see things that they shouldn't be surprised to see. Elves don't. This was actually a really interesting point from this moment in the Athrobeth, which I don't think I'd ever myself really fully processed sufficiently before, and that was. Elves don't experience wonder. They don't experience wonder. They experience delight and love and affection for, and they are in love with and very interested in Arda and all the things around them, but they don't experience wonder. Not in the same way that humans do. Because, wonder implies a kind of almost surprise, right? And that's just the thing that the elves don't experience. I am not going down there. Forget it. If you want to fight me, you come up here. There you are. No, not the cow. Not Kiriana either. Hi, Kiriana. All right, can we change the camera angle here? Okay, one more. This poor fellow's cow is thinking I'm hunting her calf. I'm just targeting him by accident. Really, I am. I don't have any ill intent there. Okay. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've had my stealth healer. Oh, no, that's the Warg waiting patiently. Oh, but maybe he won't regen until... Hi, you're waiting for me to loot your master? Where is he? No, you're just hanging out, huh? Because you're waiting for me to loot your master, but I don't have that quest, so you're all confused? I understand. It's okay. It'll be alright. You just stand there and wait. Maybe someone else will come around and loot the corpse of your master, for which you are so faithfully waiting. Come on, honestly. I understand you're being scared and intimidated by Gryfflet. Who wouldn't be among the Warg riders of the enemy? Okay, come on. Come on back. Yes. Okay. Woohoo. All right, let's go back and find Brolk again. So, Kiriana, you think if I've got you to heal me, I can take him? Maybe. Maybe so. So, yeah. There we go. Let us have another go at my little friend Brolk. Okay, let's see. All right. Sorry, where was I? Just distracted by you guys on the chat here. Let's see. Is this the rock I went inside of? There we are. Maybe I should stay on horseback. All right, Brolk. With Wayward's help and Kiriana's healing, I'm totally taking you down this time. I'm going to be going around in circles for a while. So, let me answer some other questions. Oh, look, see, now you're attacking Kiriana. That's just not nice. Now Kiriana's tanking for me as well. That's what you call multitasking, I suppose. Brolk, you're being rude. You're being rude, Brolk. Wargs have no manners anymore. None at all. There you go. Yeah, come chase after me, Brolk. Don't you want to come over here? Okay, this is going much better now. I think the attacking Brolk on horseback idea was the right move there. Just standing there toe-to-toe with him on the ground, it was just not going to pan out. Ha-ha! Take that. Yes, sir. Okay. Woohoo! So let's see, that's, I've got to go back to Ebba. Should I, like, take his head or his toenails or something? No? I guess she'll believe me? Okay, fine. That's fine. Alright. Excellent. Boy, there are all these warbands who are really wanting to come along, and I am not interested. Okay. So I've got to return to Forlaw, and Gofferth's farm? Where's that? Oh, over there? Okay, we've got to go back and talk to Horn at the farm. And then everybody else is back at Forlaw. Great. Okay. All right. Thank you, Kiriana. I think I'm good from here. Appreciate it. Should be fine now. Okay. All right. I'm going to go head over to Horn. Now, let me answer a couple of the other questions here. Tony, great question, Tony. Tony is thinking about Out of the Silent Planet by C.S. Lewis. He's just been going through our Out of the Silent Planet class in the Mythgard Academy. I don't think this is the right farm. No, this isn't the right farm. All right, carry on. Oh, look, I'm wearing a hat. I'm wearing a hat. Pay no attention. Okay, so he's going through our Out of the Silent Planet class by C.S. Lewis, and he was struck by the similarity of mindset between Weston, the physicist in Out of the Silent Planet, and Saruman. Yes, I do have comments about that, Tony. Primarily, I think that what I would mostly say about that is that both of them, Weston very explicitly, Saruman much less explicitly, is sort of intended to represent many of the dangers inherent in one subset of the world, a worldview that was popular, that was common. Both were reacting against, both Lewis and Tolkien were reacting against a not far from universal, but a sort of a common perspective in their society at the time. And this was this idea of scientific progress, that like the progress of science and the continued evolution of humanity is more important. Now, again, here I'm speaking of Weston most, right? And as I say, it is Weston is much more explicitly. Lewis seems to intend, as far as I can see, for Weston actually to be like a spokesperson for or in a parody in some ways, but sort of a representative of this line of thinking, the kind of thinking. The kind of stuff that H.G. Wells used to go around talking about and used to publish about, and that kind of thing, about the progress of humanity and imperialism in space and all this kind of thing, and about how humanity must like move forward to fulfill its destiny and whatnot. Weston was all about that. Now, as I say, Saruman is not. Tolkien does not do the kind of thing that Lewis does there. He is not just one of the things that Lewis does that Tolkien is not interested in doing. Lewis is engaging actively in his stories and through his stories, often, not always, but often, with controversial things in the world around him. So he was wanting. So to some extent, he. In order to I'm not saying this is what drives the book, because it's much more complicated than that, but one of the things that's sort of in Lewis's mind is, I want to try to explain why this mindset, this like scientific progress as the highest ideal, like what happens when you make scientific progress, and even the sort of support of the human race, right, and furtherance of the human race. These all seem like great things, right? But what happens if you make them your highest ideal, right? What does that actually look like? And so he's like, I'm going to tell a story about that. I'm going to tell a story about that in order to show, in order to kind of explore what that looks like. Now, again, it's not that that's the only purpose of Out of the Silent Planet. There are many other things that contribute to that story. It's not the reason, it's not, the story is not merely that. It's not just an allegory for that, but it's one of the things that I think Lewis undertakes to do there. Tolkien, of course, does not write stories in that way. That is not what motivates Tolkien to write stories. He is invested in the myth-making for its own sake, right? In the storytelling. It is all about sort of the love of the story and its world. But, Tony, I agree. I think it's a really interesting comparison. I think it would be a really fun moot paper, actually, to compare and contrast Weston, the physicist, and Saruman. They both do have similar... So again, Saruman is not designed to be... He doesn't speak like, a 20th century, an early 20th century sort of Wellesian scientist, like Weston does, but he does share a lot of attitudes with him, and I do think in Saruman we can see Tolkien engaging much more indirectly than Lewis, but I think we can see him engaging with some similar kinds of ideas, primarily focusing on, and I come back from Saruman, of course, to Ted Sandyman at the end, right? And I'm thinking about progress over people, right? If the progress of industry, of science, and especially of industry, is pursued at the expense of not only people, but the countryside, right? I mean, if what is most, there is an extent to which you could say that Ted Sandyman becomes, in the end, a representative, right? An example of what happens when you when you kind of fall in love, as Ted Sandyman does, fall in love with industry, right? With the idea of progress. What do? You end up pulling down, your father's mill and building a larger, uglier, and more pointless mill. You end up becoming grimy and dirty and disrespectful. There are definitely ways in which Tolkien is illustrating a similar thing, and I do think that Saruman is at the heart of that mindset. Saruman is a fascinating villain in Tolkien's world because, he's not just like a junior league villain, right? Like there's Sauron, who's the big bad, and Saruman is like the smaller bad, right? That's true, of course, in one sense, but Saruman is a different package, right? He is a different kind of evil, or a different manifestation of evil. And it's particularly important, I think. Sauron's fall was a long time ago. We don't know what Saruman was like before, what Sauron was like before his fall, or, what were the dynamics of that. We're not told that exactly. Certainly not in the Lord of the Rings. With Saruman, of course, we don't see Saruman. We don't meet Saruman before he's fallen. But we have, of course, in Gandalf, an exemplar of what Saruman should have been, as Gandalf says. And, not that they're the same person and they wouldn't operate the same way anyway. But still, we have at least a glimpse. But especially, so indirectly through the talk about Saruman in the Council of Elrond, and then directly as a parallel to Gandalf, we have an idea, right, of what Saruman was supposed to be, of what exactly he's fallen from. And so that's really interesting to see. Tolkien is really good at illustrating different people who are on the downward path, like different stages of the downward path, and what it looks like in different circumstances. I think that Tolkien's depiction of temptation and fall is really subtle in that way. But anyway, Tony, there are lots of things that you could compare and contrast. There are some differences, definitely some differences, I think, between Weston and Saruman. The most obvious one being Weston in Out of the Silent Planet, at least, is less so in Perelandra, of course, but it's too late for Weston in Perelandra. But but in Out of the Silent Planet, he is, he's all about humanity, right? He has this this vision for the good of mankind, for which he's willing to sacrifice any person. Right, like this, the good of mankind is so important that there are the rights of no individuals, of no human individuals, which are more important than that, and so he's willing to do anything to anybody in order to attain his higher ends, right? So again, the principle, like that humanity is the most important thing, Saruman certainly does not share that. But the biggest similarity, I would say, between the two of them are the taking the means over the ends, right? There would be no change in our ends, only our means, says Saruman, and Weston would certainly approve of that. Yeah. Ethelot, exactly. He's not just the mini-boss before the big bad. Exactly. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Hey, Horn, sorry to keep you waiting.
What did you find at the southern road into the Norcrofts?
Orcs. Yeah. Okay, and as I suspected, if there had been no danger, word would have left Wildermore of its troubles well before now. Speaking with what few folk I have found, I learned from where the Wargs come. A farm to the southwest, once owned by Edzig, but now overrun by the minions of Saruman. Yep, been there. And the creatures they ride. Burned tents there, I think. Defeat Wargs and Warg Riders in the fallows, as you have done. Right, okay. But do so now in and around Edzig's farm. That's what I just did! Okay, if I find salvageable crops, bring them to the provisioner at Forlaw. Oh, for crying out loud, Horn. Well, it's my own fault, Horn. I shouldn't blame you. It's my own fault for getting behind on the epics. If I'd kept up with this, I'd have been doing them all at the same time, so... Oh, wait. Do I not have to do it again? No, I do. 6 more? Or I have to defeat that same Warg Rider 6 more times? Okay. Okay. Oh. Or maybe not at Ed 6 Farm. No, I've got to go collect crops there, so I might as well go there. Isn't that this one? No. No, this is Ed 6 Farm. Okay. No, this is the right one. Yeah, there are my burned out tents. Okay. Hey there, I'm back. Glad to see your warg recovered your corpse and you regen for him. He was lonely. Here we go. Come back, Mr. Warg Rider. Okay. One. All right, so let's do another lore question. JJ has a digital literature question. Apart from LotRO, have I played any games I would consider good stories that were told very well? Really interesting question. So, of course, I have not had much time to play very many games as I would like. Is one of my biggest issues here, JJ. But I think the main one, I've just been thinking about this again recently. I was reminded of this by something the other day. One of the other games whose, not just whose story, but whose commitment to storytelling I really, really admired was the Dragon Age series. Dragon Age Origins was a remarkable game. I didn't get to play Dragon Age Inquisition. Maybe I'll get around to that someday. I did play the second one, which was interesting, though a little bit less compelling as a story than the first story. But Dragon Age Origins was a remarkable, remarkable game. I was blown away by it when I first played that. In this way. So anyway, just that's one that certainly comes to mind right away, JJ, as a really interesting example of that phenomenon. But I do really enjoy games with a great narrative. But, yeah, right through the middle of the warg yard. That's just where I'm going to come chase you. Get out here if you want to fight. There we go. Yeah. But, I mean, I will say, though, there are very few games. The thing that I have loved most about LotRO is that it is really the only Tolkien game that I have ever played that has shown the kind of commitment to story that they you know, to narrative, general narrative, not only a commitment to Tolkien's narrative, but commitment to narrative full stop, you know, rather than, you know, a lot of them just seem to be, and it was always kind of surprising to me, the number of you know, Tolkien games or Hobbit games or Lord of the Rings games. I didn't play all of them by any stretch, but many of them seem to be just like fairly simple. Like the premise was little more than, hey, you get to run around in Middle Earth and, you know, fight things. And, you know, was a disappointing premise for a Tolkien game. I always found. Okay, any Warg Riders over here? No. Another Warg patiently waiting. Okay, there he goes. I have had to hunt this pack of Warg Riders 3 times now. Even if I had done them all at once. Even, I mean, that is, even if I had done the epics in the proper sequence, I don't know that there would have been enough Warg riders for me to hunt satisfactorily. Anybody over here? There you go. Hey, can I call you number 6? That's going to be my little nickname for you, my friend. And I hope that after this, Gryfflet can cease his persecution of the Warg riders around Edzig's farm, who deserve no better, don't get me wrong. But we can all agree that the Shadows of War was the greatest Tolkien game ever. Yeah. You'll have to bait me more subtly than that, Ethelhard. Okay. All right. So I can finally... Oh, crops. Crops. Let's salvage crops. Oh, I'm in combat? Oh, get out with you. You guys are the worst. You really are the worst. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. And I'll leave you alone. I've killed 6 of you. I'm done with you at last. Forget it. Okay. Alright, now, I'm salvaging crops, which are right near the tents that I burned, which would have been awkward had I accidentally burned the salvaged crops. Oh no, are those boxes of okra? Looks like it. Oh man, these are too close to the orcs. I'm gonna have to kill them. I guess I can do that. I was kind of having... These were the ones that I didn't kill before, and I was so proud of myself. Oh well. Is what it is. Come on, punch him. Oh, he's punching that orc right in the groin. That's a little awkward. Effective, though, Gryfflet. Not saying it's a bad idea. If you're that height fighting an orc, that's just what you should be doing if you don't have a sword. Okay. Yeah, okra that hasn't been breaded and fried really shouldn't be legal. I have to admit, a confession, I hated okra for years because I'd only ever had it not breaded and fried. Like, I'm from the north. I don't eat okra very often at all. I mean, it's never served. Like, I'd never even seen okra until I was in my 20s. And anyway, so when the first time I encountered it, it had been like steamed or something, and it was vile. I mean, vile. Not just less good, but really awful. So it was like, I was like, oh, the world's most disgusting vegetable. And then I finally, JJ, at Texmoot in Texas, I finally had fried okra, and I was like, okay, I take back everything I said about okra. Because fried okra is really good. So that must be what they're planning. I'm going to assume that that's what they're planning. Okay. Yeah, it's incredibly slimy when it's not deep fried. That was my primary experience with it. And like, it was not excellent tasting. It was consistency was disgusting. Okay, let's see. Bring salvage crops to the provisioner in Forlaw. I think I'm everybody going back to Forlaw. Yes, indeed. Time to be getting back. Time and pastime to get away from Edzig's farm. Lovely place. Glad of the warg puppies that I mercilessly poisoned. But, yeah, I think it is possible, JJ, that it's a sign of the evilness of the orcs, you know, of their intrinsic corruption, that they're planning to force feed okra to the prisoners. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Okay, Catriona had a question. Let's see. Catriona's question. Is the name Agrador an actual thing or place from Beleriand in the first age? I don't believe so. I was recently reading through stuff I wrote 20 plus years ago for role-playing on a Beleriand mush, and I used the term in something that, but it's not familiar, and I couldn't find anything on it. I don't recognize it. I think it must. That sounds like it was probably a made-up name, but it's a really good made-up name. It's a really really good in the sense of it totally sounds like it could be a place in Eriador, but I don't think it is. I don't recognize that. And although my memory is sometimes questionable, I usually will at least recognize a thing even if I don't place it right away. Okay, so let's see. Where are we headed? We're headed to Lorne Settle. Wait, isn't Lorne Settle down here? Okay. Well, let's see here. Alright, hey. Ethelmund. The Provisioner? Oh, the Provisioner, right. Crops. You wanted the okra. Now fry this, Provisioner, because seriously, it's gross and slimy without it. And we're not... Gryfflet, would you behave? What are you doing? Seriously, Gryfflet. Developing a mind of your own.
Thank you for these.
Hey, you're welcome. Deep fried now. Deep fried. I'm glad the orcs did not despoil these crops. We will surely have need of them unless this terrible winter lifts tomorrow. It came on so suddenly. Perhaps it will leave equally so. If not, these crops will buy us a few days more. Okay, well, if we can take care of your little frost giant problem, your honestly large frost giant problem, we might be able to solve that issue. Okay, maybe the rescued farmers went straight to the pub, for which who could blame them? Hey, there they are! Oh, Ragnold is already drunk himself. Well, onto the table. Hey guys, yeah, I just hang here. You guys are much better off up here. It's Eric. What's up with you?
These are desperate times for the Rohirrim.
Oh, you're welcome, Sirik. Hey, Ragnold, you okay?
I am afraid of what is happening to
I saved
these
you 3
lands.
times over by now. Yeah, I've lost count too of how many times I've saved you, but it's all right, Ragnold. You just sleep it off.
I do not know if we will survive.
You'll find a way to make
this
a living here
onslaught.
inside the city? Okay. Hey, it's okay. Yeah, you could just don't worry. Hang tight. Have another beer, and I'll be, I'll settle that frost giant really pretty soon. Hey, Torwolf.
I do not know if we will
No,
survive
things
this
didn't go as
onslaught.
planned, did they? But that's all right. Okay. Ooh, I get to talk to Gléowine again. Hooray! And I got to speak to Gárwig. Oh, no, Lorne settles the mead-hall. What am I thinking? Okay. I forgot its name. Okay, right. Okay. I get to talk to Gléowine. And do an instance again, right? Hey there. Hey, it's a Myth Guardian. Fantastic. Whoa, running into fences. Help. Okay. All right. Is this Ebba's house? I think it is. Excuse me. Excuse me, lamppost. All right. Hey, Ebba, guess what? Killed the huge warg.
These are desperate times for the Rohirrim.
It had been a legend around Forlaw, for no one was quite sure if it had died of its wounds as Garnoth did. Every so often a corpse was found in the fields, and suspicions and rumors would ripple through town. That Warg story is told to every child in Forlaw, and each has had nightmares about that beast at one point or another. No longer. Oh, boom! And Gryfflet is level 88. Wow. What a big boy you're getting to be, Gryfflet. Okay. Okay, Lorne Settle. All to Lorne Settle now. You're welcome, Ebba. No problem. Yeah, no, I'm okay with leveling up now. I just want to make sure I don't go past the levels of the mobs, but they were still blue. So I think, well, at 88, I'm still going to be, I think, what, 3 above? I'm fine with being 3 above. I'll definitely want to stop him before 90, but obviously I don't want the mobs to gray out is my main concern. Yeah, he's only 20 levels behind Wigan. Of course, if I hadn't stopped him. All right, Gléowine. Okay, Gléowine. How can I pass you by? Hey, Horn, what's up?
This winter came on too suddenly to be properly of this world.
Yeah, it's true. Well, I think it'll soon lift, but I mean, it's going to need some help, I think. Gléowine, what's going on?
Oh, this cold. This feels nothing like the Wildermore of my youth.
Oh, you're doing his voice wrong, guys. Oh, this cold. This feels nothing like the Wildermore of my youth, Gryfflet. I left as a young man and returned as an old one, and the land that greets me is more difficult than I myself have become. Deserted farms, frozen rivers, enemies lurking behind every tree and over every stone. What will we find when we come to my home of Dunfast? A question truly to be asked, Gléowine. Okay. Yeah, let's unlock an optional interlude.
I am done with worrying. I want to see what has become of my home.
I am done worrying. I want to see for myself what has become of my home. I have not been there for many years, but when I last walked in Wildermore, the land itself was very different. What could have become of the small village in which I was born? I would not presume to divert our course without everyone's agreement, Gryfflet. If you consent to this journey, and so too do Horn and Corydon, then I would be grateful for a visit to Dunfast. If not, I fully understand, and ask only that you forgive me the request in the first place. Sorry, I just abused myself endlessly with that. Okay, Gléowine, let's do it. How could we not go to your hometown? The first one is the one I've already done, right? Many worries. That's the one more journey. Let's do that one. Your eye is drawn west across the map. Okay. Beyond the borders of Rohan, and comes to rest upon the rocky hills of Dunland. You wonder what has become of Saeradan and the Grey Company since you left them. Meanwhile, in Dunland. Go. Yeah. Ooh, I get to cosplay sort of Saeradan, huh? Go. Woohoo. Okay. Oh, we're in a tomb? That's exciting.
Saeradan of the Dunedain travels north with the bodies of his fallen brethren, determined to lay them to rest.
Oh. Well, that's kind of a downer. Oh, we're at the... So Saeradan doesn't get to come to the Battle of Pelennor Field? So, Radanir, we drew the short straw, I guess. I am sorry I've made a stop, Saeradan, but something is not right. Do you feel it? I feel a chill in my very bones. I have not felt such a dread since... I do not wish to say. We have drawn this wagon with our fallen brothers this far already, and we have much farther to go yet, but I want to set my mind at ease before we proceed. Do you agree, Saeradan? Then walk with me for a short way. We will not go far. Okay. Uh-oh. Yeah, the chill intensifies. Sorry, I forgot to keybind the walk toggle. I'm staying alert. Hang on, I'm forgetting. I remember Saeradan is the one with the cottage near Bree. Whoa. Oh, nice. Oathbreakers. Hi. They're going as if to a tryst. They're gathering with their banners. Whoa. Hang on, Radanir. Stand down. No, no. If the pup reaches the fire and is burned, who is to blame, the pup or the flame? I offer you no words of contrition, Dunedain. If you seek out... Hang on, let me... No, I can't. I can't expand it. Can't make the text bigger? No? We don't... Whoa. Okay. I offer you no words of contrition, Dunedain. If you seek out men such as we are, you deserve any ill that befalls you. Learn from the lesson and put your trust in those who deserve it. Ha! We abandoned the mountain, thinking to escape the chain of our suffering, but there was no escape from it. There was no end to our days, no relief from the night. Only fools stumbled upon us, and those paid with their lives. If you seek the dead, only death awaits you. But my people learned from yours that our curse may be lifted. If an heir of Isildur lives still, as your kin pretended, the glimmer of that hope may be rekindled. We love you not, but we will not slay you this night. We return to the mountain. We will not come this way again. To the mountain we return to await the ending of our curse, if such a thing may be. So, that is very interesting. So the Oathbreakers here in Enidwythe are connected. Didn't they have a different story? Didn't the Oathbreakers up here... I mean, though it was an oath-breaking story, nevertheless, but weren't these the Oathbreakers with the, like, betrayal of the... You know... It was like an internal kind of betrayal deal? Did it have anything to do with Isildur? Yeah, the wedding thing, Hologro. That's just exactly what I was thinking of. Yeah. No, not the ones in the Great River. The ones in the Great... So there were... Because there were the three different sets. Four, technically, because we saw Oathbreakers up in Fornost as well. But even just of the southerly Oathbreakers, the southern clans of the Oathbreakers, there were, of course, the primary Oathbreakers, which we haven't actually met yet because we've not been to the Paths of the Dead. Gryfflet hasn't, I mean. And there was the Oathbreakers down here in southern Enidwythe, and there were the ones in the Great River. These are the ones who killed Candaith, absolutely. So there were two sets in this area? There were the wedding ones, and then the ones who killed Candaith. Okay, so the ones on the Cursed Road, the ones who killed Candaith, are explicitly connected to Isildur's Oathbreakers. Okay. All right. Okay, so it's what I was trying to figure out is, like, is the impending call to the Stone of Erech calling, like, all Oathbreakers of every tribe, and is this like a unifying call to all Oathbreakers everywhere? Like, are the dudes from Fornos going to come down here too? But okay, all right. No seems to be the answer. I did not think to encounter those dead men again. Now that's a sentence most people don't say. Many of our friends and brothers were slain at their hands. How many went beneath the earth along the Forsaken Road and did not return to the daylight? Good men all. Radanir pauses, and you can read his thoughts on his face as plainly as day, even in the gloom of night. The Oathbreakers have abandoned the Forsaken Road, Saeradan. Now is the time for us to return there and rescue the bodies we were forced to leave behind. We must bring them back above ground and to the wagon of our fallen. We must do this at once. Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, I remember this place. Are we gonna get Kuranir? This place holds many painful memories, Saeradan. Let us find the bodies of our fallen kinsmen and leave as quickly as we are able. I suppose we can't rule out there being other dangers. Rats? For real? Forsaken rats. Make your own luck? Saeradan is unusually lucky, especially for a Dunedain. This surprisingly good fortune often reveals itself as a decline in the melee effectiveness of his foes. Okay. That is lucky. Sorry, just looking at my skills there, Radanir. You'd think Saeradan would be familiar, but not necessarily. Oh, sorry, you should turn and face your opponent there, Saeradan. Unless you just want to do that. Well, that's really fairly satisfying. Mourning fallen kinsman. You gaze upon the fallen form of Hothon, and think of the delight upon his face each time he recovered a curious artifact from the ruins of Inuminus. Many were the nights you spent warming yourself by the fire while Calenglad explained to Hothon the historical significance of the artifacts he had found, and the memory brings a smile to your face even now. This grim road should not be his tomb. You and Radanir will see to it that he rests at last along the shores of Nenual that he so loved. It is kind of nice that his corpse hasn't been devoured by the massive rats, or in fact decomposed at all in the months since we have been there. You would think recognizing his face would be counterindicated at this point. But that's okay. Hey, Radanir. Oh, Radanir, you're ahead of me. Okay. Or not. Where did Radanir go? So, and I'm forgetting. Who's Radanir again? Did somebody say? Which... Where did Radanir go? He's just standing there. Okay. Alright. You stay there. I'll be right back. Alright, whom I'm... Oh, I don't know whom I'm mourning yet. Let's see. Radanir fell in love with the elf maid Thorinhad. Oh. Yeah. Oh, he's going to hold the path? Okay. Yeah. Oh, hey, what, CERN 1891, yeah. Was asking if the lore in the game is canon. No, I mean, not all. I mean, some of it is extrapolated, but it's very respectfully extrapolated. Huge, huge respect for the work that they've done at LotRO. You know, none of these characters here are in the story. But this is actually a wonderful illustration of the relationship between a lot of the LotRO story and the books. We don't know, we only ever learn the name of one of the other rangers. Like there's the group of rangers that comes down from the north, right, to fight with Aragorn in the last battles in the Lord of the Rings. We only ever learn the name of one of them, Halberud. But there are a bunch, right? Who were the rest of them? What were their stories? And so here we're getting the names and stories that, of course, as you explore the rest of the world, you've already met and encountered and quested with all of these other guys doing their Dunedain things around Eriador. So they've done just a wonderful job in this game of building out within the context of the world that Tolkien made, and in contact with, and very conscious of and respectful of the story that Tolkien was telling. Very, very remarkable work they've done here. Calathil kept to himself, and in that way he was much like Aragorn, your chieftain. He strode often to the Trollshaws neath the moon, and it was he who introduced Radanir to Elwelleth at Thorinhad. He used to jest that he did it only to make things difficult for Radanir. He will rest more easily beneath the trees, perhaps a stone's throw from the sound of Loudwater. Lived in service to the Grey Company and fell upon the Forsaken Road. Oh. Okay. Interesting. My mouse clicking still remains a fascinating experiment. Okay. Lenore was well known to you, for he lived on the Bree Fields and often visited your cabin to share a meal and the news. He was generally well regarded by man and Bree hobbit alike, and it was Lenore who helped Burl Pearson construct the frame for his farmhouse south of Breetown. Oh, what a lovely detail. Lenore did not range as far afield as many of your kin, and his decision to join the Grey Company was not an easy one. You hope he knows somehow that his service was not for nothing. You and Radanir will make sure he is laid to rest among the comfortable hills of his home. Helping to build farms in the Bree area. Yes, JJ. He is also like Aragorn, your chieftain, in that he visited the prancing pony occasionally, liked long walks on the beach. Okay, you gaze upon Himeldir's face with deep sorrow, for you remember how much he argued against coming to the Forsaken Road. He believed the words of Ergothorn should not be trusted, and thought seeking beneath the earth for the honorless ones to be a foolish journey. He spoke of it to you in private and shared his concerns with Candaith, but in the end he agreed to walk the Forsaken Road. From that point onward you heard no complaint from him, and he descended bravely. I'm sorry, Himeldir, you whisper to his fallen form. Be at peace, my kinsman. We will not leave you here. See, JJ, just as we were discussing... Just as we were discussing before... I love the commitment to storytelling in this game. Just, again, not only like the fact that they tell, stories really well. Oh, there's Radanir. If it were me, Candaith, I might not have tried telling falsehoods to the undying shades of the traitors. If it were me, I see. You're like coming to rebuke Candaith's corpse. That was really dumb, Candaith. Candaith was dear to you, and you still keenly feel the pain of his loss. He often came to visit your cabin on the Breefields, and many were the nights the two of you spent in quiet conversation about the events of the day. The conversations became more serious and more grim as the shadows deepened in Middle-earth, but your favorites will always be those that were full of smiles and laughter, untroubled by knowledge of the Black Speech. We came back for you, my brother. We should not have left you here even for one day. Forgive me, Candaith. Your words still hang in the air. Candaith lived in service to the Grey Company and fell upon the Forsaken Road. I am ready for us to carry our fallen brothers outside, Saeradan. Let us not delay. They have remained in this terrible place for too long already. I agree, though, again, maybe it's one of the sort of powers of the Dunedain that they're so remarkably resistant to decomposition. Okay. Okay, I was gonna say hello, loading screen. Okay, Gléowine, where are we gonna go to the Oh, right. Sorry, Gléowine. I've got to get their permission first. Hey, Horn, do you mind going to Gléowine's hometown?
Will Gléowine's reception at Dunfast be warmer than my own at Eowyn?
All right, I know, right? Yeah. Will he regret the journey as I did? It was a poor jest. I have much for which to be grateful, and only a lesser man takes as assured the health and safety of his family. Gléowine's family has long since left the village of Dunfast, but I can understand his desires to see what has become of the place. I agree to the journey. Did you think I would not? Of course I didn't think that, but I'm supposed to ask. Hey, Corridon, what do you think?
I understand Gléowine's desire completely. I would feel the same.
I would feel the same if I heard such troubling news about Lothlorien. We would be poor companions indeed were we to refuse this request. We should travel to Dunfast, though the situation there promises to be no different than elsewhere in Wildermore. Let us hope for Gléowine's sake that I am wrong. Okay. Let's do it. Thumbs up, Gléowine. We're ready. All right, now I got to go back into Lorne's Settle. Now, where's Dunfast? Oh, over there. Sorry, I wasn't seeing it. Okay. All right, that's interesting. I wonder where they will send us here. I think we've caught up now. Okay, hey Gárwig and Cyneberg. I'm supposed to bring you a bundle of arrows.
These are desperate times for the Rohirrim.
The guards were running short on arrows after the last battle here. Granted, these bundles of orc arrows aren't the same quality as the ones we make, but they're good enough for slaying orcs with. Okay, no problem. Feel like it's a small contribution, but...
These are desperate times for the Rohirrim.
You found the farmers and signs of the giant, but he wasn't there. Norzum hasn't returned since his attack on the western gate, but he could come at any time to wipe Forlaw off the map for good. Norzum must have given this Uruk-hai control of the assaulting forces in the Fallows until he returned. By killing his lieutenant, the orcs here in the Fallows should be disorganized and disconnected from the other White Hand forces throughout Wildermore. They won't be able to organize another raid on Forlaw for some time. Excellent. See, doesn't that help cheer you up a little bit, Gárwig? I know, it's hard.
It's a sad thing to watch your lands die.
Those good men did everything they could to maintain those farms and tried to help Forlaw the only way they knew how. But the enemy has made sure our farms remain smoldering, and those brave men were lucky to live through their ordeal. I will try to help them find work here inside the city. Your efforts to help them were courageous, and they owe their lives to you. The people of Forlaw appreciate when we can see good men return alive when so many do not. See? That was cheerful, wasn't it, Gárwig?
I'm afraid of what is happening to these lands.
You are impressed by my deeds? Well, Cyneberg, I'm flattered. I think very highly of you, too. What you have done recently reminds me of what Thrymm has done for Wildermore since he was old enough to ride. I know, right? Ooh. Okay, I have time for a... Ooh, I get the session play Thrymm? What an honor. Unless this is like a half-hour long instance.
Thrymm Redbeard, the champion of Forlaw, proudly carries the hope of the people of Wildermore. He was one of the few to heed the call to defend an incoming attack on an early morning in Forlaw.
Boy, his hair is really, really red. Oh, it's Garforth and Edsig. Wow, look, all the dead people getting back together.
What brings you to these lands?
Thrymm, we're glad you could make it. We sent word through town calling for those who could aid in our defense, but it is early and not many heard it. Defeat 0 of 54? Okay. 54. For real. Wow. I've never... Wow. Okay. We'll see how this goes. A scout came to Ornsettle, frantic to report to Gárwig and to the rest of us a good-sized formation of orcs, I bet, that were marching down the road towards Forlaw. They should be here any moment now. Garforth and I will stay here to guard the gate. We will make sure none pass. I didn't mount, but I guess I'm meant to. I have to do this mounted? You've got to be kidding me. Do I get credit for the ones that they kill? Can I just stand here? How do I stand here? Sorry. How do I stop? My skills aren't in the places where where I usually see them. Hang on. What's happening here? What even are these skills? Oh, okay. Well, that was handy. Oh, okay. This might not take so long if I can just kill a bunch of them with every blow. Whoa! Thrymm! Okay. Alright, this is the most fun mounted combat I've ever done. Whoa, sorry. I got my dock creeping up on me there. Okay, this is wonderful. It's the best mounted combat ever. How about you? Ha ha! Oh! Okay. Yeah. How are Edsig and Garforth doing? Oh, they're fine. Take that! How many have I got? I'm up to 33 already. Okay. Yeah! Hoi! I don't know why I'm sounding my horn. I don't know what any of these skills do. Is this just how Cyneberg remembers it? You guys keep it up. I've got these guys over here. Wham! And have some of that. And some of this. Oh, here come the trolls. I don't even know what half of these skills do. Yeah, hey, don't kill my war steed like that. That's just rude. I thought this guy was almost dead. What's wrong with this guy? He seems to have a lot of questions. Hi, sorry. Having a hard time controlling my steed, but you understand. I thought I would give you the upper ground just in order to make sure that this was a fair fight. Because I am Thrymm, and my hair is very red. And you have almost no chance against me. This is really adorable. Again, like the fact that this is, you know, Cyneberg's story is very touching. This is how she remembers Thrymm. Okay, sorry, that's normally stop in my horse skills. Stop, stop, stop. Seriously. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Edith. She remembers, you know, this, like, you know, bold, heroic, like, guy who could, you know, send 4 orcs flying with every shot, you know. Do I need to dismount? What is this skill? Recuperate, huh? Okay. How do I get off? Oh, there he is, up there. Whew. All right, Ed, what do you think, huh?
Will you aid the horse lords?
That appears to be all of them. Look at that, I did kill 54 orcs in 5 minutes. Thrymm, this many orcs marching down the roads is alarming. I can see it on your face. You look worried. I share your concern for Cyneberg in Scylfig. Whether Scylfig is prepared. You should send word as soon as you can. Gárwig and I will see to the defense of Forlaw while you are away. Awesome. Yeah, it is taking me longer to stop my horse than it took me to kill all 54 orcs. Okay, you're right. The fact that he really didn't know how to control his horse is perhaps less flattering a memory of her heroic loved one. Yeah. Didn't really do Thrymm proud there, perhaps. What do you think about that, Gárwig?
The White Wizard has taken everything from us.
I like the tale of the last time Thrymm was in Forlaw. She is a good storyteller, and that is one of my favorites. That was a fun story. You are becoming quite popular, and many in town are talking of what you have done here recently. It is not surprising to me that Cyneberg has grown fond of you. I'm fond of her, too.
It's a sad thing.
Word is spreading through town like a wildfire that Thrymm's war steed just returned home. Can you go check out this horse for me? I worry that this may raise false hopes that will be washed away by the fact that Thrymm's war steed cannot still live as he does not. Wait, what? Are you saying he's gonna die, or are you disbelieving the story? My people have suffered enough, and I do not want them disappointed by these harmful rumors. Well, first of all, he wasn't on his horse when the giant yeeted him across the countryside. So why shouldn't his horse still be alive? But anyway, I'll go inspect the steed next time because I am out of time. Right. It did sound a little bit like go kill the horse so people don't get their hopes up, which, I found a little bit shocking, but I'm sure that's not what he meant. Okay. All right, well, Gryfflet needs to stop now. I've got to go get my kids, but I did want to make sure everybody knew tomorrow I am doing a Wiggend marathon at last. It's finally happening, and I am finally going to do the Great Wedding. I was trying to do the Great Wedding at Mythmoot this year, and my computer exploded, so that didn't happen, but this should be fine now. We'll do the Great Wedding. Not the Great River. It is not in the Great River. It is the Great Wedding. So I'll do the wedding. And then if I have time afterwards, which I should have time afterwards, because I don't think that even I can spend, 12 hours at the Great Wedding, I will head back and work my way towards the Black Gate. So join me at the Haystack in Minas Tirith for the Great Wedding, and I'll be looking around and enjoying the wedding there. So I have no idea. We're going to start at 1 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to be on the Signum Twitch channel, twitch.tv/SignumU. And I don't know when we're going to end. It's going to depend on how long I can hold out. But we will see. So anyhow, please join me on the Signum channel tomorrow at 1 p.m. For my. I've never seen the Great Wedding before, so everything we're going to be doing on the Wiggend stream is me seeing stuff for the first time. So I'm excited for all that stuff. And yes, they're going to be prizes and giveaways tomorrow. So that'll also be a lot of fun because it's our fall fundraising campaign and we like to give stuff away for Signum University. So thank you, everybody, and I will see hopefully some of you tomorrow. And if not, Gryfflet and I will be back next week. So thanks, everybody. Bye now. Thanks for joining in on my rambles around Standing Stone's brilliant digital adaptation of Tolkien's world. If you enjoy these adventures, please consider supporting this and other entertaining educational programming by donating at signumuniversity.org/fund.